Alright, quick update on JASMY. So we're seeing a tiny bit of continuation since yesterday's video. Now, yesterday we were talking about the possibility of the bulls coming back, and I said, in my opinion at least, I do think this is going to be the bottoming region for JASMY. I do find it hard to believe that JASMY is going to come and sweep the lows and come down 36%. Nonetheless, still keep your eyes on 1.7 because we're really not out the blue. In my opinion, if we take out 1.7 to the downside, there's nowhere else for us to go apart from a 36% move down. Now, that's not what I'm predicting is going to happen. In fact, in yesterday's video, I let you know I was entering a trade on JASMY because I do think this is going to be the bottom. It is just a region we do need to keep in consideration. Starting off with the daily again, you can see daily squeeze momentum indicator, the bears are losing control. So this is a good sign. This is what you want to see when we could have a potential bottom playing out. And like I said, if we look at the volume that we saw yesterday, it was completely unrivaled as to anything we've seen in this general vicinity up until we get about to the 22nd of November. So I'll show you why that's important in a second. But on the daily as well, you can see we're seeing a good bit of volume today. And bear in mind, you know, for me it's only 2 PM, there's another 10 hours to go. So we could have the potential of putting in another big candle on JASMY. Now, there is really one thing that I've got my eyes open on JASMY right now, whether it's going to go up or down. I will run through that in a second, but I wanted to show you the last time we had volume like this was around the 22nd of November, but we really started this volume uptrend down here. So, you know, the last time we had volume like this, we were putting in our bottom. I've highlighted this before, how we did a 5x, came back down, 786 Fibonacci backtest, and then started heading off to the races. It is similar to what we're seeing now, where we have this huge 5x, return to the 786 Fib. We are currently fighting with it, so you know, I really want to see JASMY pushing above 1.9 cent, but nonetheless, the volume candles on this allowed JASMY to keep on growing and growing and growing, and going all the way from 1.5 cent to, I believe, 33 cents. So I don't necessarily think we'll do something like that as fast again. Nonetheless, I do think a rally is underway in the short term for JASMY, but we need to do a few things first. If we look at the weekly, you can see, let me clear up this chart for a second. You can see we've got this big impulse here, and we are coming back down on it now on the higher time frame. So we are literally testing the 786. So as this is been playing out for a couple of weeks, I will draw this on the weekly. But yeah, like I said, 1.9, this is where it comes into effect again. If we have a weekly close below 1.9, it could get extremely ugly. But I'm mainly focusing on these regions down here, which is this previous local low that we had, and I've marked this green with a green box now. Previously I just had this purple line, but yeah, we've talked about all these regions anyway. This box needs to hold. Like I said, if we come below 1.7, we're gonna have a nasty flush out. And are we going to move to the upside? That is the question. If we come down to the lower time frames, bulls are starting to take back control. That is very nice. We're hopping into the 4-hourly EMA ribbons. If we come over to the 30-minute chart, I noticed this yesterday before I went to sleep, but the bulls are really taking back control. We had a bullish pennant, and then we had a break up, a back test, and now we are breaking back up. We've got a higher low playing out right now, hopefully a higher low. And your 1.9 cent at 786 is currently being in effect again. So in the short time frames, if we have a big push up from 1.9 cent, then JASMY could potentially be getting ready for a moon rally. Now, if we come over, I believe that's everything in the chart. So there's two more things I want to talk about. I want to talk about how we're going to know if this is going to play out or not, and where I personally see JASMY heading in the next day or so, and where it needs to break before I can get bullish. Now, very simply, I would like to see JASMY break back above the 2.618, which is here at 2.2, but more specifically 2.3 cents. So, you know, plethora these in, or just kind of lump these in together. Yeah, plethora is not the right word, but yeah, 2.3 cent here, the previous local high. In my opinion, we're really not out the blues until we do take 2.3 cent off the table. So once we break above 2.3 cent, in my opinion, this is a confirmed bottom. Higher time frames, once again, bears are losing control. I do see us in the short term heading up another 18% before we do see any resistance coming in. And if we do take that out, Short-term moving average up here is a 28% increase, and then up to your 618 fib is a 33% increase. So this is really why I entered my trade on JASMY yesterday, because I think the risk to reward ratio right now is really good. Like, obviously we could still come down here, which is why I say not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I'm doing with my money. Like, you can do whatever you want with yours. I'm not here to advise you. I'm here to tell you what I see in the charts and what I'm doing. But this could still come down 36% if we take out 1.7. I don't think that's going to happen. But the upside, you know, we only need to come up to the 618, which is a pretty conservative trade in my opinion, and then that's a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. But I think what's more likely to happen is if this is another macro bottom like we saw here, then we could see, you know, a return back up to that local high up here at 5 cent. 1.5x, that is definitely nothing to laugh about. Nonetheless, if we do break below 1.7, I will be shorting. I mean, there's no other way to slice it. I think we'll be super bearish. So how are we going to know whether JASMY is breaking out? Now, I think Bitcoin is going to tell it all. Now, if this is your first time on my channel, I like to cover altcoins, but I like to cover, you know, Bitcoin, the total crypto market cap, and sometimes the stock market as a leading indicator on what is going on with these altcoins. Now, I'm only going to use Bitcoin for this purpose because, in my opinion, you know, the macro moves are going to be copied from what JASMY and Bitcoin do. Day-to-day movements may not plan out like, you know, perfect, but as a general rule of thumb, JASMY is going to follow the macro market moves that Bitcoin makes. And what I see playing out on Bitcoin right now is a really nice asymmetrical triangle. Now, very, very simply, extrapolating the price target, you can see if we do have a break to the upside, 42,500 would be in play. That would be a very nice increase of approximately 5%. Now, if Bitcoin goes up 5%, has a huge impulse, then, you know, JASMY could come back up to 3 cent. Like, the market cap is like 90 million right now, which is another reason I do find it kind of hard for it to return to 1 cent, because then it would be at like 50 million. And sure, it's very possible, which is why you still need to be cautious, but that's what I'm saying. The risk to reward ratio right now on JASMY is really good in my opinion, better than when I've been covering this. I mean, I've been covering this for a month. If you've been watching me for the past month, you know we were up here at 5 cent, and I was saying I'm being conservative, expecting a move down to 2.3 to 2.5. When we came down to there, I said I think a move lower is in play, and I'd be looking to buy when I potentially see a bottom playing out. And then this happened, and I believe we entered at 1.8. We didn't catch the exact bottom, like I said in yesterday's video. Whatever the price was yesterday was when I entered, really. But yeah, I do think this is a much better place to buy DCA, have a short-term trade, than, you know, when we were all the way up here, obviously speaking. But yeah, if we look at Bitcoin, keeping it very simple, this is a continuation pattern. So from a technical perspective, we should be moving to the downside, and I believe the target of this is 38,000, but that is only if you're taking, you know, the technical from this one move. And in my opinion, it's probably better to look at the general market picture. And if we do, you know, I'm not going to go into everything for this video, but I do believe Bitcoin has bottomed at 39.5, so I think the break up is more likely in my opinion. Bears are losing control while bulls are trying to come back in play. And yeah, like I said, if Bitcoin moves up to this move, does a 5% impulse, then I really see JASMY tearing a few faces in the short term. And by tearing a few faces, I mean potentially a 57% move could be in play in the next day or so. That is really all I see for JASMY. Once again, I never want to see a daily push back down to 1.7 cent, but specifically for today on the weekly, I want to see this 786 fib hold. I don't want to see a move back below 1.9 cent, because if we do push back below 1.9 cent, the consequences on the market could be very diabolical. That is all I see for JASMY. Yeah, once again, none of this is financial advice. It is just my opinion on the market, and you've always got to do what's best for you. Cowboy out. Peace.